Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bucket 2MC show. And boy, is it going to be a juicy one tonight. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about the draft, but we're going to talk about some coaching changes and some movements on the coaching aspect of this NCAA Division One. And Maria, say what's up to the people. Let them know who's bringing them the show, and please spill all the tea.
What's up to the people? I would just like to say that it is a small miracle that I am here right now, because at 1 o'clock this morning, the second COVID shot knocked me on my butt. I was shivering. I was trying to take a Tylenol to knock the headache out, and was shivering and shaking so much I was doing this. I couldn't even get the water in my mouth. But at 6 o'clock this morning, I wasn't sure I'd live through the night, but I made it, man. And I'm feeling much better.
I'm glad you feel better. I'm glad you're done, and in 2 weeks you will be fully vaccinated. So I'm excited for you.
If that was my immune system kicking in to fight it, I cannot imagine having COVID. I cannot imagine these poor people that dealt with that. I only had to deal with it for a few hours. But yes, it had. First of all, great news. Renaya Davis went number 9 to Minnesota Lynx. Congrats to her. Alexis, you know what it feels like. I mean, she had to wait a little bit to hear her name. People thought she might be top 5, but do you start getting antsy? What is it like when you're just sitting there waiting?
Of course you're getting antsy, because you want to hear your name. Obviously, if it's not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, you're expecting. I've been putting in the work. I feel like, I should go pretty high, or I think I'm going to go between this number and this number. And if it happens for you, great. But when it doesn't, you're like, oh my gosh. But it's also, it should be very motivational, because now you didn't go as high as you wanted to go, because I like you say, I think everybody thought she was pretty much top 5, maybe 6. And she didn't go until 9, which is still a very highly drafted player. But this should make her want to put in the work to try to destroy the top 5 draftees and make her mark on the WNBA, which I know she will be able to make her mark on the league.
Yeah, she said, she'll go in with a little bit of an attitude, and you have to have that to make a WNBA roster. You better have it. I did an interview with Kelly earlier this week that I'll get up on our website soon, and I asked her about Renaya going to the draft or being a top 5, and Kelly said, I don't care where she's drafted, 1, 5, 10. I want her to go to training camp and work hard and make that team. That's what matters. This is all the fun stuff and the hype.
Yep.
What's going to happen when you're on that court? Now you're being evaluated. So
now your business starts.
Yeah, now you are an employee. Yep. And it's a business. And congrats to Charlie Collier. She went number 1 out of Texas. That had been projected.
Oh yeah.
So Ari McDonald went number 3. She's going to Atlanta. Number 2 was the player from Finland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. I know I will butcher it. So congratulations to the player from Finland. Jessica Gwynn said, Ray also said on her live show that Minnesota was one of the few teams that had not interviewed her. And while that's somewhat unusual, Minnesota may not have expected Renaya to be on the board at 9. They may have interviewed other people. Minnesota probably got real excited when they and by now they've done due diligence on everybody in the draft. It's not like they're drafting blind. They probably never thought Renaya would be available. So that's congratulations to Renaya. But I know what's on everyone's mind. First off, the head coach news. LSU's Nikki Fargas has stepped down from LSU after 10 years. And that one was a surprise to me. I think it was a surprise to a lot of people.
Yes.
I was able to do a lot of checking this evening before the draft, and because the timing to me was odd, because normally if there's a coaching change, it's done immediately after the season. And obviously the season has been over for LSU for almost 3 weeks now. And I mean, the good news is I think this was Nikki's idea. I think Nikki may be ready to step away and do something else or have other ventures going on. So hopefully down the road, we'll hear what that is. But I am very relieved that apparently Nikki was not let go. Nikki was ready for the next step. So that's always good to hear.
Absolutely.
I will say I was surprised because I didn't see it coming, but apparently this is not necessarily a bad thing. For my first thought for Nikki is, my goodness, go and broadcast. I mean, you could explain the game and talk. I mean, but I don't know what Nikki's going to do next. I'll try to reach out to her, give her time to get going. But
yeah,
obviously on the Tennessee side, and neither one of these departures was surprising. I mean, the both Lacey Goldwire and Jennifer Sullivan, of course, have left Tennessee. Jennifer Sullivan will be the head coach at Florida Atlantic. So congratulations to Jennifer, Sully as they call her. Lacey Goldwire also is pursuing other head coaching spots, and she has left Tennessee. Those were not these. That was very well known that both of them wanted to be head coaches. So I was not. I was a little surprised it all happened bunched together in one day. But it might as well, if it's going to happen, it all happens at one time. So I mean, Tennessee thanked both of them for their 2 years here. Sullivan and Kelly Harper knew each other for years because they coached together at Missouri State, and she's been 16 years as an assistant. So I mean, major shout out to Coach Sully for getting in that head coach track, and that's her goal. That's what she wants to do. Lacey Goldwire, I know she's been looking at some other jobs. Vandy, her name came up with the Vandy job, which of course went to Shay Ralph. Yeah. So at this case, it's probably just a case of where your coach is looking. It's almost May. I mean, we're midway through April now. Your new class is going to be here in 5 weeks. You want to get your staff set before June. So I think, obviously, and Kelly, I mean, I don't think Kelly was blindsided by either one of these. So it's not like she woke up this morning. It's like, oh my God, I got to find 2 assistant coaches. I mean, if you're a head coach, you got a working list all the time. You know that assistant coaches will leave and go to other jobs. And you just don't like, oh, I hadn't really thought about that.
Right.
At Tennessee, Kelly has the people in mind that she wants to come here. Apparently one is close to being done, but we do not, I don't have any names yet. I think it has to go through all the channels. So
apparently,
so
I'm sorry, Maria, it cut out. Apparently, one is what?
So I think one selection has already been made.
Okay.
But it still has to go through all the channels and all the paperwork, and so we'll see. I would expect by next week Tennessee probably has another coach on the staff and close to bringing a second one in. So I can't imagine doing that for a living. Like you said, I don't have the patience for it or the 24/7 nature of that job.
Yeah, and it is a 24/7 job.
So, I mean, Alexis, we seem to only talk to you in the car now. Just get everybody updated again. I know you said you had to go home to do some training, some kids you already had set up, and now you're finishing up some of your last minute stuff, and apparently you'll be back in Knoxville tomorrow.
Yeah, so Sandra and I got the keys to the condo last week. We officially live in downtown Knoxville now. We're excited about that. I'm excited to fully get unpacked and get everything completely set up the way that we want. But I had to come back to North Carolina, and I will be back and forth for at least the next couple of weeks because I have clients that I have to finish out paid packages for, and also I still have an elementary team that I oversee out here as well. But the car is packed because this is the last little bit of my apartment in Mooresville. So say bye-bye to Mooresville. I'm done. I'm officially a Tennessean. Well, I can't say officially because I haven't switched over my license and registration and all that.
Yeah, that's when it's official.
Yeah, that's when it's official. But I no longer own keys to the apartment in Mooresville. I only own keys to the condo in Knoxville, and I am now working out all the B Mays Elite girls and opening up group workouts and individual workouts for the people of East Tennessee. So I'm excited But yeah, you do get me in the car a lot because it's been pretty hectic. I've been doing a lot of driving. But right before this move, I got a Sonata hybrid. The best thing on gas mileage I ever decided to do. This is the back and forth car, so very excited about all that.
That's really cool. Y'all are living downtown. Downtown's a cool place to live in Knoxville.
It is, and I can't wait for you to come visit, Maria.
You know, I work downtown whenever we go back to work. I am literally across the street from where you guys are hanging out because I've been watching your videos. So
yeah, so hey, that's awesome because when you're down there, that means we can have lunch a few times every week, and get ready because I got some pretty cool ideas I'm going to run by you, Maria.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could finally talk in person. And
exactly.
Not all this Zooms and streams and phones but the WNBA draft. I'm still trying to keep up with it. A couple kids haven't gone. Dejanay Carrington. I'm looking at some of the ones that have not gone. Natasha Mack. I mean, there's always surprises in this draft, and there's some kids that go that you haven't heard of, particularly international players, and that's because I don't keep up with the international game that well. That's on me. But apparently, LA traded up to get Chelsea Dungy, and then Dallas took Chelsea Dungy. So I don't know if Dallas is packaging up a trade or if they're keeping all the kids. They had like 4 picks in the first round, 3 in the first round, and so I'm just relieved and happy for Renaya. I hope Cassie can land in a training camp somewhere with a team that needs some post. There's just not a lot of true post left right now.
No. The draft.
So
I hate that the draft is like, no, you can't go in person this year and actually have that experience. Or were they able to go in person?
No, they did. It was all remote. Everybody's at home.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought so. That's the only thing that I hate that the kids miss out on over, from this COVID year, because that's kind of like the coolest part of it, is to actually be there and to congratulate your friends and former foes on their draft, but also that feeling when you hear your name called and to shake the hand of the president and to hold up your jersey for that draft year of the team that you got drafted to. All of that is probably some of the most exciting things you experience outside of winning a championship of itself.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. I mean, you look like a baby and you still look the same all at the same time.
Thank you. I understand what you're saying. I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure I'm lost right now, guys, just to be honest with you. I'm trying to figure out which way I'm supposed to go. So if I look confused, that's why.
That's okay. When you get settled, you may want to reach out to Fargus, Caldwell as we call her, and just check on her, see how she's doing.
I definitely am, and I want to know: Are you coming back to good old Oak Ridge?
Might as well. Who wouldn't want to live in Tennessee?
Exactly. So I'm definitely going. As soon as you told me that today, I was like, "What? Yeah, I'm hitting her up.
Yeah, find out what she's up to. But
I saw Holly. I see a few weeks ago, about a month ago.
Did you see her out and about or out where she lives?
No. I saw her in a gym. I saw her in the gym.
Cool. Yeah, somebody asked if Cassie has an agent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cassie and Ray got. I mean, you have to. You're not.
Yeah, you have to.
Your agent has to do that work.
Yeah, you have to have a certified WNBA agent, obviously for the WNBA draft, and they also, in order to be able to represent you on both, they have to be certified by FIBA as well in order to represent you overseas. So they actually have to do 2 certifications, and you cannot handle the contracts unless you are certified. And
really, if you're just coming out of college, you need, 1, to get an agent you trust, and 2, to let somebody who has experience do that. I mean, unless you've got a working knowledge of contract law.
Right.
We kind of lost you. You're a black box, but we still hear you.
Yeah, because I need to make sure I'm going the right way. So I apologize.
Okay.
I'm coming back in though.
No, that's okay. I haven't. I'm complete. We got so much news breaking tonight. I forgot to thank all our sponsors. We got to do that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
OrangeMountainDesigns.com, Blue Water Climate Control, Tennessee Tap House, Sam Strong. Do we have a commercial for Blue Water, Alex?
We do, Maria. We do, Maria.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something, and it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
I just want to say that blue water sounds so peaceful and calm, but what it really means is that you're out in the middle of the ocean and you can't see land. There's nothing peaceful or calm about that to me. Because if something goes wrong, you can't like swim home.
Yeah, it's not an option, but it's so peaceful kind of when you're in the middle of the water and you can't see land. But it's also scary. I'm agree with you on that one, Maria.
Yeah, I like being on boats, but I think I need to see a little bit of land to feel really
at
safe.
least every once in a while.
Yeah, that I'm not like adrift at sea. But I want to tell Lady Vol fans, don't be concerned about the exit of Tennessee's assistant coaches. It is not it's not unusual. Assistant coaches are trying to further their career. And as Pat always said, if other people aren't looking at my assistant coaches, I need better coaches.
That's a fact.
So I know it seemed like kind of a double whammy that 2 in one day, but apparently Kelly's got a plan. Things are already in motion, and
right.
The new kids are coming in. The freshmen are coming in. I think this team is pretty close knit enough to wait it out, see what's going on, and there doesn't seem to be any panic on their end. But does everybody want to know who they are? Yeah, of course. Fans want to know. Parents want to know. Players want to know.
Right.
But as you know, it's a process to get hired.
It is a process. It takes a little bit of time. And, I mean, normally there's work. Like you said, they've been having these conversations. They're very aware. There's conversations that have been happening way before the public even gained the knowledge of possible coaches switching positions, transferring, and having other opportunities. So I agree with you, Maria, that it's probably not going to take too long to see coach in a position. And then the second one will probably follow, pretty quickly behind that first hire, if not at the same time.
Yeah, it's like you said, by the time it becomes public, it's been known to the people who need to know for about 1 or 2 weeks.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they're not blindsided by it. It just becomes the timing of when it's announced. And in a case like Sully, you've got to time it with the other school. They need to release it and get that done. And you want to make sure your team knows. I mean, you want the players not to read it on Twitter. And in social media age, it's hard to keep anything quiet long. Once it breaks, it breaks. So
it breaks. Yeah, you try to keep it in house, and once somebody catches wind of it and gets it out, that stirs the pot, and then it kind of forces your hand to publicly announce what moves you're making or not making, or at least acknowledge the moves being made.
Well, shout out to Tennessee. They did it. They did it quietly. I mean, there were rumblings because everybody knew that they were looking at other head coaching jobs. So it's not like fans could say, man, I never saw this coming. I mean, if you didn't see it coming, you weren't paying attention to anything going on. So,
yeah, if you didn't see it coming, you're not in tune with Lady Vol basketball, and please don't call yourself a real fan. And you probably might want to register for my Lady Vol fan Old People Camp.
we got to do Old People Camp. I can't wait.
Maria, registration starts next week.
Old Lady Camp starts next week?
No, registration for the camp starts next week.
Okay.
We're going to start. We're going to officially get it ramped up in May, but we're going to get the conversation, the groups going, the registration. I want to make sure that it is structured the exact way. I am working on securing partnerships with, certain places so we can have it and enjoy our time. You're going to learn, you're going to have some drinks, you're going to have some snacks, and we're going to have some fun. But we will learn basketball, and you will learn how to be a better fan. And I believe that Coach Summit will be smiling down on this process the entire time.
She probably will. She didn't like the internet. I remember Pat talking about somebody would say something. Oh man, she didn't like the internet.
Yeah.
She'll look forward to education. Do we have a video of you two and your new venture with Bobby Mays for people that do not know that?
We do. For people that do not know, Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball will be the official skills trainer and possible personal trainer for B Mays Elite. I will be in charge of training all of his teams, but I will also be starting group workouts and weekly clinics for open to the public. So here we go with B Mays and my new venture, and this is what he has to personally say.
We don't hear it yet.
Hey Carter, try to make that full screen. And
Bobby Mays with B Mays Elite UAA Under Armour sponsorship team program right here in East Tennessee. I'm so excited about one of my great friends, Lady Vol, champion at every level, high school, University of Tennessee, then at the pro. Alexis Hornbuckle is in town and here to stay. She will be working out all of the girls that need to get to the next level. So start now. Let's get this going. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, there it goes.
Now you know. Now you'll know why Alexis is back in Knoxville, because people knew you were back in Knoxville. It was kind of funny. People on Twitter were going, "Is Alexis going to coach at Tennessee?" I'm like, no, she just got here. She's going to coach with Bobby Mays. And then, of course, I had all the people say, Shamiqua Holtzclaw. No, Shamiqua is not going to be doing any coaching. Tamika Ketchik. No, Tamika's a GM for the Fever.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't need to become an assistant coach. That's like that's not a step down. That's like 10 steps down.
Definitely is. No, not coming to coach, coming to train and teach and speak and mentor. And I will be doing a lot of things in the community, to be honest. But I'm really here to help grow women's basketball, young girls basketball back in this East Tennessee area and get eyes back on that campus in Knoxville, because Tennessee has kind of lost its clout. It's lost its power a little bit. And Coach Kelly has been doing a great job these past 2 seasons to make sure that our name is being buzzed amongst the higher ranking teams. And I'm here to see how I can help that in an indirect way, but also be directly, supportive, be able to be in the buildings for more home games and show these young ladies that you do have former Lady Vols in your corner, willing to say, hey, I'm a person you can talk to. If you want to come train with me. Now, listen, I don't do softness and I don't do crying, but I'm here, ladies. If y'all want to reach out to me, I would love to have y'all in the gym and give y'all a little bit of buck and a little bit of summit.
I think that's great. And the best thing for those who are wondering what you want to do for a career, if you're doing what Alexis is doing, you set your schedule, you set your day. If you're an assistant coach, you just lost control of your entire life. Just so you know, whichever career path you take, you will not have your own life as an assistant coach.
Yeah. Figure out your purpose, find your passion, and know your why, and go from there. I used to think I wanted to be a coach at the collegiate level, but after playing and retiring and getting this time with my family and, of course, Sandra, it's just I would never go back to being a slave of someone else's schedule.
If you want a family, do not be an assistant coach because you're not home. That's pretty much it.
It's a long-distance relationship for sure.
Yes. So I just think, there's a lot of good things happening for Tennessee. Again, I'm really happy for Jennifer Sullivan that she's going to be a head coach. That's exactly what she wanted. I'm glad to know that Nikki Fargas is stepping away of her own accord. That's what Nikki wants. And Lacey Goldwire, she gave 2 great years to Tennessee, and she'll get right. I mean, she's a very good coach. She'll get right back in the pipeline, and hopefully can be in a head coach position herself. If not this season, then very, very soon, because I know that's also her goal. So it's been a newsy kind of day. Everything kind of breaking. And I will tell people, if you can get the vaccine, go get it, because if what I experienced last night is having that COVID, you don't want that ever in your entire life, because this virus is bad. Alexis, you make me nervous when we're talking driving, so we're gonna take this out of here. Alex, thanks for doing this a little bit later, and you be safe on your drive. I know, Alex, you got to drive somewhere, so Alexis, why don't you take us out of here?
Absolutely. Number one, we appreciate everyone that tuned into the Volunteer Roadshow and Buck and the 2MC show, whether that was on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever it is. But we really need you. And this is something you can do for free. Post, repost, like, and please share. If you have any suggestions for guests or topics, please go to thevolunteerroadshow.com, send an email, contact us, and our producers, Alex Carter or Bobby Catfish, will let us know, and we will find a way to incorporate that in our show. Until next time, just know that we love you. We love the Orange. Congratulations to Renaya Davis, and we are praying for Cassie Kenwa to get an opportunity. Until then, next week, Thursday, 7 p.m., go Lady Vols. We love you. Stay safe.
Peace.